Let's dive in. America, a nation built by immigrants, except for Native Americans. People left everything behind for a shot at something new. Our culture, food, and even our arguments are shaped by this mix. Immigration isn't a side story, it's the main plot. But here's the twist. For a country of immigrants, we've always had a complicated relationship with newcomers. Every generation seems to say, "We're good now, let's close the door." This push-pull, open arms, closed gates, has been here since the start. The debates we're having now? Just remixes of old arguments. It's always about economics, culture, and fear. Politicians love to stoke anxiety about the other, but immigrants have always fueled growth and innovation. Every law and policy is a mix of ideals and panic. We'll see how America went from open borders to a fortress of paperwork. This is the story of who gets to be American and why it's never been simple. Buckle up. It's a wild, essential ride. Early America had almost no federal immigration rules. If you survived the trip, you were in. The first big law, the Naturalization Act of 1790, it said only free white persons could become citizens. From the start, race was the filter. Enslaved people, indentured servants, and all non-white individuals were excluded. The door looked open, but only for a select few. As new groups arrived, like Irish Catholics fleeing famine, suspicion grew. Political parties like the Know-Nothings formed just to oppose immigrants. Economic anxiety plus cultural differences equaled backlash. The country needed labor, but feared change. Complaints about religion, accents, and jobs echoed through history. This tension set the stage for the first real federal restrictions. Soon, America would slam the door on an entire group and change immigration forever. The blueprint for exclusion was set. The cycle would repeat again and again. The 1800s, America's building railroads, expanding west. Chinese laborers did the dangerous work no one else wanted. When the railroad was done, thousands of Chinese workers needed jobs. White workers panicked, blaming them for economic woes. Politicians ran on anti-Chinese platforms fueling racist fears. Enter the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, the first law to ban an entire ethnic group. Chinese laborers were barred for 10 years, and those already here couldn't become citizens. The ban was renewed, then made permanent, lasting over 60 years. Families were separated, and discrimination became law. This created the first wave of illegal immigration. When doors close, people find windows. Chinese immigrants faced humiliating interrogations at Angel Island. The Exclusion Act was a turning point. America wrote prejudice into law. It built a paper wall as real as any fence. The legacy of exclusion and fear would echo for generations. America's immigration story got a lot more complicated. After targeting the Chinese, America wanted a scientific filter. New immigrants from Southern and Eastern Europe arrived. Italians, Jews, Poles, Russians. Panic set in. Elites feared these newcomers would dilute America. Eugenics and racism shaped policy. The Emergency Quota Act of 1921 and National Origins Act of 1924 set strict quotas. Quotas favored Northern Europeans, shutting out others. Numbers were skewed. Britain got tens of thousands, Italy and Poland just a few thousand. Asia, almost zero. The message: some groups welcome, others not. This was social engineering by law. The consequences were deadly. Jews fleeing Nazis were turned away due to quotas. The MS St. Louis, carrying Jewish refugees, was denied entry and sent back to Europe. Immigration policy became a matter of life and death. America's gatekeeping had global consequences. The quota system preserved a narrow vision of who belonged. The world was watching and paying the price. After World War II, America's racist immigration laws looked bad, especially in a Cold War world. Competing with the Soviets for global influence, the U.S. needed a new image. The old quota system had to go. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 changed everything. It abolished national origins quotas, focusing on family reunification and skilled workers. If you had family or needed skills, you moved up the line. Lawmakers thought it wouldn't change much. They were wrong. Family-based immigration created chain reactions. New arrivals sponsored relatives. Immigration from Asia, Africa, and Latin America soared. America's face changed in ways lawmakers never expected. The 1965 Act ended explicit racism in the law but created new challenges. For the first time, caps were placed on the Western Hemisphere, creating backlogs for countries like Mexico. This, plus labor demand, fueled modern undocumented immigration. Fixing one problem created another. The rollercoaster of immigration policy rolled on. America's story kept evolving. Welcome to the modern immigration maze. After 1965, the system became a tangle of visas, green cards, and endless paperwork. Family, work, lottery, asylum, each with its own rules and backlogs. Legal immigration can take years, even decades. For many, it's just not possible. Enter the Disturboijosnasen, Salkulden Maitinamakern starred the dreamers, kids brought here without papers, raised as Americans but stuck in limbo. DACA gave them temporary protection but no permanent fix. Their lives are political footballs, tossed between courts and Congress. The border debate is toxic. Walls, enforcement, and family separations dominate headlines. Root causes, violence, instability, poverty, are often ignored. We want skilled workers, but the H-1B visa is a lottery with too few spots. We rely on farm workers, but offer few legal paths. We call ourselves a nation of immigrants, but make the process a nightmare. The system isn't working for businesses, families, or those stuck in the shadows. The contradictions are everywhere. So, what's next? Change is the only constant in U.S. immigration. We're at another crossroads. Political division is deep, and immigration is at the center. One side wants stricter enforcement, the other, more humane policies. The middle ground is vanishing. Technology is reshaping the border. Smart walls, drones, even AI for processing claims. Efficiency could rise, but so could privacy and fairness concerns. Can an algorithm decide who deserves asylum? Climate change is the next big challenge. Millions may be displaced by disasters. Our laws aren't ready for climate refugees. This will force a global conversation about responsibility and protection. The future of immigration is about more than laws. It's about who we want to be. Fortress America, or a nation true to its ideals. The debate is about our identity and the American dream. The next chapter is coming. Let's hope it lives up to the promise.